Shalom. All praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Double honors to the apostle Nels Great Millstone. Peace and blessing to y'all. Preaching His truth throughout the four winds. All right. I've been like lately seeing a lot of videos where idiots or people who are without understanding would try to take hair white like wool, as white as snow, and when it says wool, try to make it like the hair wasn't speaking on texture. Okay, common sense would tell you no one's gonna compare the color of someone's hair color-wise to wool. Okay, if that was the case, when you read the scripture, you can just void out as white as snow. Okay, because you look at lamb's wool and it don't get that white. Okay, it's like it can be like a eggshell, you know, but pure white snow is like super white. Okay, and we're gonna show it through these scriptures. You know what I'm saying? So this is Revelation 1:14. It says, and his head and his hairs were white. So we're gonna get white. It says light, bright, brilliant. It says brilliant from whiteness, dazzling white, dead white, shining of white. Okay, the garments of angels and those exalted to be splendor of the heavenly state. So you know that's pure. That's like a bright white. Okay, that's like when you look at like a real high beam light, how like it like you look at it and it's like, man, that's white. Okay, lamb's wool doesn't get that kind of white to where it's just standoffish and it stand out. All right, but it says like wool. Now we're gonna get like wool. It says as it were. Okay, as it were wool. His head and his hairs were white. Look, his head and his hairs were white like wool. Okay, as if it were wool. That's speaking on texture. Okay, as if it were wool. Okay, it says as though, as like, as, it says about, as it were. Okay, so I'm not gonna tell you that his head and his hairs were white like wool and then say they're as white as snow, because there's plenty other things that's bright that you can compare that's lighter than wool. Okay, and I mean even in itself, when you read it, it says as white as snow. Okay, why would it have to tell you the color and then reiterate it with something that's even brighter? Makes no sense. Okay, that's the color right there, as white as snow, and it was like wool. Okay, you got to keep in mind with punctuation and all that. I'm pretty sure, like, if you went to way back in before all these things were set in the proper form, you know what I'm saying, you didn't have commas, and it was like damn near like a run-on. You know what I'm saying? Periods and all that. That's things we learned on this side of the world. You know what I'm saying? So when they spoke back in those, you know what I'm saying, back in the ancient days, these things naturally happened. Okay? When you speak, your breath and what you say naturally comes to a point to where you stop. And that's where a period is. They wasn't thinking about these things way back in those days. You know what I'm saying? Head and hairs were white like wool, as white as snow. Period. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it speaks for itself. It's not gonna tell you the color and then tell you the color and then tell you the color. Why is it stressing the color of his hair? It says his head and his hairs were white like wool. So it says white, then it says like wool, then it says as white as snow. So I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to explain that the head and his hairs were white. Then I'm going to tell you like wool. Then I'm going to say they're white as snow. I just gave you two different descriptions of the same hair. I said it was white, like bright white. Then I'm gonna tell you it was like, okay, it's white like wool. Then I'm gonna say, well, it's white like snow. No, it's speaking on the texture of his hair. All right. And it says, and that was the definition for like and wool. I mean, it's self-explanatory. So when you read that, it says like wool. Right here is like. It says as it were wool. That's the texture. Okay. It says as white, and that's that same word white again. Right here, bright, brilliant from whiteness, dazzling, white. You know what I'm saying? Okay. It says as snow. Okay. So snow, that's you know what I'm saying? It's self-explanatory. It says white as snow. That means it's bright. The color of it is bright. I mean, I don't want to just be babbling on, but I mean, it makes no sense to give the description of a person's hair color 3 times. If I'm looking at someone in my face and their hair is black, I'm not gonna say, hey, yeah, it's black hair, like wool, as black as motor oil. Like, come on, bro. That makes no sense. All right, that makes no sense. So we got now this right here is wool. Check that out. Check that out. That's wool. Is that white as snow? Is that white as snow? When you look at wool, and you look like inside of jackets, they have jackets with wool in the inside of it, and this is like normally the color of it. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna find no wool that's like that. Look at the difference. Look at the damn difference. Bro, this makes no sense that we're sitting up here trying to explain to dumbass people when you're speaking on texture versus a color. That's white as snow. Okay? So he had a head full of gray hair. He had a head full of gray hair. Like, bro, you look at any Jake right now, you look at somebody's grandfather, you look at their hair, and what do you have? It's gonna be a full head of grays, and it's gonna be nappy. Look at Bill Russell with all that balled up shit on his head and his face. I mean, it's just like that. Morgan Freeman shit getting like that. You know what I'm saying? Just look at that, and that's a prime example of what it was speaking on. Woolly, kinky, nappy hair that Negroes have, and it was like a dead gray. You know what I'm saying? Oh, it was bright, but that's what we call gray hairs. And if that don't top it off, look at the image of who people ignorantly call God. Okay, look at what it said about him. I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit. He did sit. So this is speaking of who you call God. He sit. So he has to have a body if he's sitting down. Whose garment, so he got a garment, so he has a body, was white as snow. So his garments were white as snow. His garments were white, pure white. Okay? Now check this out. And the hair of his head like the pure wool, Didn't it tell you when Yahweh Shai say, you seen me, you seen the Father? That's in spirit and in likeness, because when it explains both of them, the only thing that's different is their garments. Okay, oh, Yahweh Shai's eyes were red because he drank wine, but it's showing you right here the same thing. Okay, you seen me, you seen the Father. Okay, he got a garment on, it was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool. So is that color also? It says like wool. Was that color also? No, that's texture. Okay, period. This is simple stuff, bro. But this is just a little edification. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully it was edifying to you brothers. Want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Double honors to the apostle, and that was a great millstone. Peace and blessing to you. I can push his truth throughout the four winds. Shalom.